everyone, and welcome to the Week 26 edition of Instant Replay, where I give you my take on the most controversial calls of the weekend. We promise it's gonna be a blast. I'm Simon Borg, and there's no better place to start than a historic red card. The quickest ejection from the start of a match in MLS history. That distinction goes to Colorado Rapids goalkeeper Joe Nasco, who grabs Alan Gordon's leg just as he's about to knock the ball home. Referee Baldomero Toledo has no choice but to show red. That's denial of a super obvious goal-scoring opportunity, and Landon Donovan gets to add to his all-time MLS goal-scoring record. But Gordon wasn't done wreaking havoc in the Colorado penalty area. You can see him tell the referee here that he thought this contact from Thomas Piermeyer in the 23rd minute was a foul. We don't have the best angle, but I thought Piermeyer was just holding his ground in the box. Good no call for me. But the Galaxy would eventually get another penalty in this one. Just 2 minutes after the break, Rapids defender Chris Clute was judged to have brought down Gyasi Zardes. Boy, I think Zardes really sold it. Clute barely touches him, but everyone knows you put an arm on a player in the box and you're asking for trouble. Real Salt Lake probably deserved a penalty kick of their own after 15 minutes against Dallas. To me, Kyle Beckerman is clearly first to this ball in the box, and he takes a charge into the back from Michel, which sends him flying. But nothing doing for referee Armando Villarreal. RSL would eventually open the scoring in the 31st minute through Robbie Findlay. And I hate to spoil a special moment, after all it was Findlay's first MLS goal in over a year. But on the shot by Luke Mulholland, the freeze frame seems to suggest Findlay may have been ahead of the last defender. But assistant Richard Gamache keeps his flag down. The goal stands. And the Claret and Cobalt would go on to win the game 2-1. But I think they could have had a penalty in the final minute. Dallas defender Moises Hernandez moves his arms to block this shot by Javi Morales. And it looks like he does it inside the box. One last play to look at from Rio Tinto. Just minutes before halftime, RSL's Tony Beltran and Dallas winger Andres Escobar come together near midfield. But with the referee already sprinting ahead to the next play, look at how Escobar swings his right leg near Beltran's head. This is not Antonio Brown stuff. He's the guy on the Pittsburgh Steelers who stomped on a guy's face this weekend, but it was still enough to raise my eyebrow. Moving to Toronto, where I thought the home team could have easily had a player sent off in the 28th minute. Check out this tackle by Daniel Henry on Connor Casey. The last replay is the most graphic. That's the kind of tackle that can mangle a player's knee. Endangering the safety of an opponent? You betcha! But Henry gets away with just a yellow from referee Alan Kelly. There was a play from Gillette Stadium that was really on the borderline of deserving a red, in my opinion. It's the 58th minute, and Chicago's Matt Watson goes in late and high on Scott Caldwell. I would have been fine with a red card here, but referee Chris Penso goes yellow. There was also a question surrounding the game-winning goal by New England's Charlie Davies. Offside or not? The freeze frame makes it pretty clear that Jeff Lorenowitz was holding him on. Good eye by assistant Claudio Badea. Another good call by an assistant. This time it's George Gansner in Portland. San Jose's Chris Wondolowski is in fact offside, and this 73rd minute goal was rightly disallowed. We stay at Providence Park to take a look at the 57th minute play that set off Timbers captain Will Johnson. He wants a penalty called by referee Alan Chapman, but I don't see it. If there's a player who touches the ball with his hand on this play, it's San Jose defender Jason Hernandez. But even before the cross comes off, you see Hernandez trying to tuck his arm in prior to the ball being kicked. That's a good no call by Chapman for me, and the yellow to Johnson for his tantrum, it's inevitable. Next to Cruz Stadium, where the locals registered an easy 3-0 win against Chivas USA, and the margin might have been even wider had Federico Higuain put away this first half penalty kick. The foul that led to it was pretty clear. Eric Zavaleta is looking at the ball and clatters into the Cruz Aaron Schoenfeld. Just minutes before, the Cruz Daniel Palladini also wanted a penalty kick call, but when we slow down the video, you see that Palladini actually kicks Dan Kennedy's hand in his attempt to get to the ball. It's in fact a foul. Referee Jeff Gamble gets it right. Things got testy in Houston, where both coaches had gripes by the end of the game. Montreal coach Frank Lopez felt his team should have had a penalty kick in the 88th minute. But I agree with referee Fotis Bazakos here. No PK. It's bang bang, and there's no way Houston defender AJ Cochran had any time to react. Plus, he doesn't look to me like he's trying to block the ball with his arm or his hand. Dynamo coach Dom Kinnear was also upset in the 40th minute when the Montreal Impact scored their momentary equalizer. Kinnear argued that the play should have been whistled dead for a foul on Giles Barnes moments before. I agree with him on that one. Barnes was involved in an earlier play in the 17th minute that I think should have resulted in a penalty kick for the Dynamo. Montreal rookie Eric Miller trips up Barnes on this clumsy challenge from behind, and you can see the contact right here. Barnes wasn't sweating it. He got back up to score 2 goals as the Dynamo won 3-2. No goals to be found in Vancouver between the Whitecaps and DC United. Fisher had a big decision to make with 7 minutes remaining when Vancouver's Mehdi Belushi hits the deck inside the box. Penalty or not? From the footage we have, it's not clear whether Bobby Boswell trips him up. We're screened, and it looks like the referee was as well. Next, we're going to take a second look at 2 rough tackles from BC Place. First, in the 81st minute, DC's Nick DeLeon stomps on Russell Tybert's left ankle. DeLeon is way late, and I also think the way he comes in endangers the safety of his opponent. I would have gone to the back pocket, but Fisher doesn't even whistle for the foul. And then in stoppage time, there was this collision between Belushi and DC's Davy Arnaud, who gets the worst of it. But as you can see, Belushi commits to the slide before Arnaud, so hard to lay blame here. I think this is 2 guys going for the ball. And we end at Red Bull Arena, where there was controversy galore, and it started early with the penalty kick foul committed by Matt Beasler on Bradley Wright Phillips. No doubt about it, Beasler gets Wright Phillips on the follow-through. But the Red Bulls argue it should have also been a red to Beasler for denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. And I agree. After the match, referee Eladio Grajeda was asked about the play, and he said that, quote, it was not an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. Then he was asked why not at least a yellow for halting a promising attack. He told reporters, quote, it was a simple foul. Beasler managed to escape this match without a yellow card, even after upending Roy Miller in the 31st minute. The replay shows us that the contact for the foul is there, but Grajeda didn't call it. The exaggerated leap by Miller may have had something to do with that. You'll remember the embellishment from Miller on a recent penalty appeal against Montreal. That one wasn't called either. We head to first half stoppage time and an interesting head-to-head between Kansas City's Dom Dwyer and New York's Ibrahim Sakaggia. First, a Dwyer elbow on Sakaggia, and then the defender responds with a kick to the chest with the ball nowhere in sight. What is this, MMA? That should have been a double red card for me, but Grajeda only shows a yellow to Sakaggia. And lastly, an interesting situation just moments before the halftime whistle. Sakaggia and his fellow New York defender Jamison Olave both were tended to by trainers, and the rules are pretty clear. Players have to leave the field to receive treatment. Those same rules say the referee is the only one allowed to wave the players back on. But in this situation, you see it's the assistant Bill Dittmar doing the honors, and the players sprinting from the corner flag to chase the throw-in. Although the assistant waved them on, we're told he did it with the center referee's blessing through the headsets. Still, a play you don't see every day, and we've had a few of those here. That's all we have for this week. For our editor, Abner Aceves, I'm Simon Borg. See you next time!